All right, I think we can get started. People are joining as we speak. So, hi everyone. My name is Ankita. I am the co-founder of Project Millionaire Canada. I'm very excited to be hosting this Career Expo. For those of you who are new here, we are hosting a Career Expo since last week with different professionals coming in from different industries, talking about their careers, helping youth decide what they want to do, and just inspire you with their stories. I'm very excited and grateful that David is here today. Navrupam.
Yep, so good evening, everyone. My name's Navrupam, and I'm the other co-founder of PMC. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for joining today's webinar and taking the time out of your day. And I hope everyone learns a lot through David's experiences through our event today.
So, of course, as you guys all know, we love to give our general members an opportunity to host. So today we have Astha hosting our webinar today.
Hi everyone, my name is Astha and I'm a general member of PMC. Plus I'll be hosting this webinar for you guys today. So we are excited to be hosting the fourth webinar of the Career Expo series today. And we know that how confusing it is to choose your career at this young age. So we have here David Robbio, a real estate agent, to help you learn more about this developing career in the field of investment. So let's start about with a little introduction about the career itself. So the career of a realtor, agent, or a broker is highly in demand due to the impact of the fluctuating house market. With the market being competitive itself, it is safe to say that the career has started to gain a lot more competition throughout the recent years. Our panelist here, David, is in the top 1% in Canada based on his income for real estate commissions. He was also the Rookie of the Year in his first year when he started his business. Now let me hand over to David, who is an amazing panelist. So David, why don't you introduce yourself and talk a bit more about yourself?
Well, I'd like to first start by saying, what a great introduction by you three girls. That was awesome. So thank you so much for that. I think it's really cool that you guys are taking the initiative to do this. So listen, for anyone who's on there, I can see we got a couple of people here. I noticed that everyone's camera's turned off. I host a lot of panels, and I think the best way to be engaged is to have your camera on because it shows a level of accountability for you being there. But my name is David Robbio. As we had mentioned, I'm top 1% real estate agent across Canada. I've been in the business for going on 5 years now. And my first year in the business, I was the Rookie of the Year based off my production level alone. I'm young. I'm 25 years old. I'm married with 2 kids, and I've had nothing shy of a crazy accelerant career. Got a lot of notoriety for being the age that I am, doing the business levels that I'm doing. And I'm fastly climbing to the top of the industry, if you will, just simply based on how many years I have ahead of me. So I think it was pretty cool that I had the opportunity to connect with you guys. And I really do hope that any insight at all about the industry, what you're looking to do, and furthermore, if I can just help you get a little bit more direction as to where or where not to go, I think that'd be a really, really advantageous thing for anyone, especially getting into university, college, just getting out of high school. There's so many different pressure points. So I hope that I can add some value. And I think the underlying thing there is clarity is power. And once you feel clear on what you're trying to do, then you can go 100 miles an hour in that direction. And I don't care if you're trying to be a doctor, a teacher, a real estate agent. Hard work and good ethics will get you to where you need to go and get you to the top. And that's what I've done for 5 years now.
Thank you for that, David. So as David said, please turn on your camera because it does create a positive environment. And so before I start, we would like to set a few ground rules today. So please keep in mind that this session is supposed to last 30 minutes and we will stop taking questions or answering them after 7:05 or 7:10 at max. And not all questions would be answered because our panelists has their own unique experiences, so they would be answering on basis of that. But I'm sure David has a lot of experience, and he would be able to answer most of your questions. You may start putting your questions in the chat. David, were you saying something?
No, I was just saying, yeah, absolutely, good points. And in not a condescending way, I'd probably be able to answer any question, even with a level of unbiasedness, right? So, and I am a broker, which is the highest level of being a realtor, if you will. There's a real estate sales representative, and then a broker, and the broker is the kind of overarching understanding of the entire industry as a whole. So, yeah, just thought I'd throw that in there. But yeah, let the questions roll away.
Yes, so we do suggest you don't turn your mic on, as there would be a lot of confusion. But when David is answering your question, you can definitely turn your mic on and talk to him. This is a chance for you to network, and we may get started. Also, please stay until the end, because PMC would be announcing their giveaway, and more stuff about you would have more chance to talk to David. So David, our first question is here by Nitesh. It is, what made you want to pursue real estate?
Yeah, I guess it's a pretty general, like, good question. I think real estate pursued me. I was 18 when I bought my first investment property, and I kind of just realized how important real estate is. I own several investment properties. It's kind of the cornerstone for my wealth and my retirement plan and for my kids and everything that I dealt with. So when I did that first transaction, I realized that I have someone who was actually a really good guy that I worked with. I loved him. He was a super awesome guy. And it was such a fun, robust experience. And that's kind of my personality. I'm very outgoing. I love connecting with different people, and I'm a big problem solver. And that's really what I got the fundamental of the career was, is to help people on a very exciting time that could be very bad, right? This market's crazy right now. People are having a lot of bad experiences. And the compensation level attached to it, if you do it at a high level, was well, okay? And that was a big stick for me. And everyone told me not to do it because of how rigorous the hours are, how inconsistent your income can be, and just how unpredictable it is. It's very hard to base a life off that. And I would encourage everybody to take all those thoughts, put them in a ball, and throw them out the window, because you're young. This is the time for you to be trying different things and giving things a go. You don't have a mortgage. You don't have kids. You don't have marriage relation. Maybe you do, and all those things don't matter if you do. But statistically, at a young age, you have a lot more freedom to try things, and that's what's going to add to you as like an asset in the world. So I just went in for it head first, and I had nothing to lose, everything to gain. And my first year in the business, I sold 26 houses. Now I sell about 65 to 75 houses a year. And if you just do the average math, average house is $1.1 million, and we get paid about 2.5% commission off every transaction. It's a very scalable business with a high income that I've been able to now hire people, leverage people out. So I kind of saw the bigger picture for it, but that's what made me pursue real estate. It's probably the best business to start, the lowest overhead, but the most dedication, determination, and trust in yourself to actually make it work, because your phone doesn't ring. You have to be outward going and make relationships happen to make your phone ring, right? So that's what made me pursue real estate.
Okay, so thank you for that advice. I know a lot of careers have a lot of cons that people focus on, and especially me too. I usually try, when I'm interested in a career, I usually look at the cons, and that makes me want to not go in there. But thank you for that. I'll make sure to not focus on those.
Yeah, there's no need. It's just a negative thing. I'm a very positive guy. The cup is always half full. That's my outlook. And in this career, you get rewarded for being like that. Right. So that was another thing. That's just my natural personality. It's very natural for me to act like that. So again, it made it very easy for me to continue to pursue and push forward.
Okay, thank you. For the next question is, do you need any educational background for your career as in real estate, or do you not?
Great question. All you need is a high school degree or diploma or education equivalency, and that'll be the prerequisite for you to go take your real estate license. They've actually just transitioned the course. So when I took the course, it was 5 exams, and it was kind of at your own pace, but you had an 18-month time window to complete it, okay? I did it in 8 months. I quit my job because I understood how much I was making a year, and if I did real estate, I can make what I make in a year in a month, and that was my headset. So I quit my job, and I had a very good job, but I quit my job, and I went into it full time, and I got my courses done in 8 months. Now through Humber, it's kind of similar, but it's mandatory modules that you have to be on, and you have to go through them. So really all you need is a high school degree. They're going to do a criminal background check on you, and then you'll be able to enroll. And right now it's through Humber College for you to enroll and get your education. You should be able to get it done in about a year and a half. And then right after that, you'll get your license, which you'll have to join a brokerage, and then you'll get to start selling real estate. One thing I'll make very clear, the course is a good course. It gives you a lot of technical association with real estate and the confines of what it is. What it does not teach you how to do is how to run a business, how to connect with people, how to generate leads, how to manage relationships, and actually generate sales. It does not teach you how to do that. So I tell everyone who's thinking about it, you have two jobs. You have one, which is get your license. And all that is like a ticket to say, I'm going to do it now. Your other job is actually generate potential prospects that you can actually sell a home to or sell their home. Okay. Two completely different things. And I think a lot of people get confused by that. So just be mindful. The course is not going to teach you how to run a scalable business. That's you and go to a brokerage, and hopefully the training, support, and tools they have for you will help you understand how to do that. Because it's very hard for people in the first year to even sell one, maybe two houses, because it's such a big learning curve and it's such a high level of competition. So just be mindful of that stuff. But I answered the question and beyond, just hoping that it kind of overarches and helps a lot of people understand what the actual steps are to get your license.
Thank you for that. That was great. And I know that you have reached such a high level of achievement at such a young age. Do you have a motivation behind this?
Yeah, pretty simply. I had Christian. So my eldest son is 6 years old. And if we do the math, I'm 25. Okay. So Christian came into the world when I was 19 years old. I was working fine jobs, nothing wrong with the jobs I was working, but they weren't going to get me to a level where I felt so confident supporting my family. And I know that was something really important to me. So I was looking for different avenues. That's why when I kind of bought my first investment property, the reason I bought that property was so I can start setting my family up for financial freedom. And going along that process, I said, oh my gosh, this is a very lucrative, fun, and rewarding business if you take care of it. And that's when I went into it. So I would say my number one motivation factor, if you will, is to provide for my family and take care of my family. But the other thing is, along this journey, I've become a better person. I've connected with so many different families and helped them with so many different things. I'm very compassionate, very empathetic, and it just helped my character. And I'm very grateful for what this career has done for me personally. So all those things encompassing, I take very good care of this career because I know what it's doing for me. So that's my motivation. And you know what? Like, now I'm able to hire people and help them realize things and financial freedom for their families. And that means so much to me. So that's another layer of motivation that really does impact me a lot. So I would say that's my main motivation. But I would tell anyone, I don't care if it's real estate. Again, I don't care if it's a teacher or whatever. You got to find out what's going to make you get up in the morning before everybody else, work harder than everybody else. And the biggest alignment there is what you're passionate about. I can do real estate 100 hours a week. I work 80 hours a week, and I've been doing it for 5 years because I love it. So I'm able to outwork the people who just do it for money. I just happen to make a lot of money. It's not my main focus. My main focus is to serve families. And I happen to make a lot of money because I do that, because I love that aspect. So I don't care if it's real estate or whatever you're doing. You got to find something that you jump out of bed in the morning, and it's not just a job or just it's work. It's you're building something. You're building your passion around something. And that's super important. And I would encourage every single person on this call. And again, it doesn't have to be real estate. Your life has to be evolved around that. And you'll do the best in your career. I promise you.
Yes. So definitely choose the career that you want to go to. That's your
love, that you love.
Yeah. Yes. So another next question is, what advice would you give to students who are pursuing this career, or new realtors who have started pursuing this career, seeing the competitive market these days?
Yeah, I would really assess, just like any other business. In my head, if you're doing real estate, you're starting a business. If you're selling phone cases, if you're manufacturing tape measure and what, like, it doesn't matter what it is. Just happen to have a tape measure on my desk here for some reason. But you have to look at what the market has, market volatility, who your competition is, and things such as that. Real estate agents, there's 85,000 real estate agents in the GTA, 85,000. So you already know you're dealing with a high level of competition. Majority of them aren't really competition. They just have a license. So I would just encourage people to really, really understand that they're here to help and serve families. Connect with other people at a brokerage level or an agent level like myself. I mentor a lot of people. Connect with someone who can mentor you and kind of show you the ropes, because the first year, it's going to be a lot of learning curves, and you're actually investing into yourself. You're not going to make any money. You're going to be investing into yourself. And even if you do make some money, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 a year, that's great. But your main goal is to invest in yourself. And any business startup, the regular pro forma is you don't take profit for the first 3 years, because you're able to build and scale a business. In our business, people take the money right away. I didn't do that. I had enough money to live. and I lived kind of like a broke student. And now I'm very financially well off because I'm very smart with where my dollars when I built a business. This past month, I just moved into my new house. And last month, which was November, our team sold 6 houses. I did not see a client. I did not go out. We sold 6 houses and I didn't do any of it. Yet I got paid on every single one of those deals at a very high scale because I built a business. So I would encourage people to get in with the right frame of mind. And if you actually want to build something, it's a great thing to do. If you just want to live paycheck to paycheck and get a little scary, but get a mentor, get someone to guide you in the right way. And that's what I would really encourage people, especially in our business, because you'll get lost very quick. You'll get wrong direction. It's a very, very murky business, a lot of different perspectives.
Thank you for that, David. Our next question is, what does your normal day look like compared to when you were saying that you work 80 hours a day? How do you balance your family life and your work? And what is your day in work like?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'm not average. I'm not going to by any means say that like I am in the top 1%. Like I work a lot. What I've done personally is I don't work, I live. I don't believe in work-life balance. Like I live. So I wake up 6 a.m. every single morning. I have an ice shower, like freezing cold ice shower every single morning. I go work out. Then right away, I get out of my house. I'll go to the office. I'm there for, I don't know, at least 2 hours, calling, connecting with my clients, following up with them, following back with them, generating new prospective business, whether that be through referrals or whatever it is. In the beginning, it always looked very different. In the balance of my day, I'm working on my business with my assistants. I'm going out on appointments and actually taking the time that I booked appointments. Now I have to go on those generated appointments. And in the evenings, my appointments run pretty long, or I'll be negotiating offers for my clients who want to buy a property, which that'll run me right into 8, 9, 10 o'clock. An early night for me is I'm home by 6 o'clock. That's an early night. My wife's surprised to see me at home. My kids are happy. Like that's the reality. And when I say work-life balance, I kind of just shelf that. It's because in our business, we can work as much as we want. And I'm chasing something super important to me. And you know what? I'm not home every night for dinner, but pre-COVID, I was able to jump on a plane for 3 days with my family, go to Florida. And we just got back from Great Wolf Lodge for a weekend. So we try to spend really, really high quality time versus me just being there at dinner or being there to put the kids to bed. I'm there. And when dad's around, we're doing crazy stuff. Like Christian wants to go to Wonderland. We go, I buy all the fast passes. We go do all these crazy things. He says he wants to go go-karting. I rent the whole thing out. So he and I are smashing go-karts like that. That's what we kind of do. Right. But yeah, the number one priority and focus is generating new business. And I guess your day could be done earlier if you're not as intentional about generating a high volume of business. Again, to sell 65 houses a year, that's averaging 1.5, give or take a week. It's a lot of work to even find that. I mean, we have what, 15 people on this call? I bet collectively, all 15 of you don't even know 5 people who moved this year. And I had to find 65 families to work with me and trust me in addition to all my competition. And I don't get everything, right? You're competing a lot of times. So of those 65, I maybe had to interview for 80 families. I only got 65 of them. So imagine that, right? So that's why it's so strenuous, because I'm always looking for new ways to generate new clients. And that's what takes up the bulk of our days.
Yes. So the next question is from Ankita, and she says, let's say I'm a student in post-secondary and I would like to start doing investments on the side. What would be the smart idea for me to get a push into this career?
Yeah, I would say if you have cash, depending on how much capital is on hand, if you have any family, friends, or significant others or whomever, I would say pre-construction real estate is the most palatable way to get into the market. You don't need a mortgage. You're not really mortgaging a property because it doesn't exist yet. You're buying a contract that allows you, once it's built 3, 4, 5 years from now, to actually secure a regular conventional mortgage. It's kind of like holding your spot, right? And as long as you have the money, the builder lets you hold that spot. And the money is usually pretty palatable. So it's like, I don't know, 10 to 15% down over 3 years. So if you're buying a $600,000 condo or $500,000 rather, making numbers easy, $100,000 is 20%. That's the goal that you should be aiming in your head. But if you don't have that and you only have 80, you'll be able to make all the deposit structures. $80,000 over 3 to 5 years. Now, it's a lot of money. I'm not trying to belittle that. But that's what I would do. If I was starting all over again, I would focus on pre-construction real estate. My first property that I bought, I paid $319. It's worth about $750 now. the opportunities like that aren't there anymore. The market's so saturated, everyone's trying to get in. Pre-construction is the easiest way to get in the market, the most calming and the least amount of headache. So that's what I would advise.
Thank you. And MH also asks us, how long did it take for you to become a broker? And were there any difficulties when you were becoming one?
Yeah, so you have to be a registered real estate agent for 2 years before you can even earn the opportunity to take your broker's course. I would say it wasn't hard. It was annoying because when I first did my studies, I didn't have any clients. I didn't have any business. I was just studying. Now I'm running $1 million business. I have to now study and take these courses. That's what was strenuous. The course wasn't harder. The load wasn't bigger. It was just bad timing. I'm always busy. I'm working 80 hours a week and I still got to study. And I got to make sure you get a minimum of 75 on the exam to even consider a pass. So I'm trying to do this stuff. So I think that was the frustrating part, but it doesn't matter because I never fail. Didn't matter. I knew I was going to pass everything. I made a commitment level. I took my textbook. Let's say it's 500 pages. I said, I have a month before my exam. I need to read X amount of pages per day, leave myself 3 days of study room. And I made myself really good study notes. I'm very, very good and proficient at that, right? And I passed. I've never once failed my exams. I passed all of them. I think the lowest I got was like an 84 or something like that. But it's not hard material. It's very dry. It's very dry. But like I said, I was so eager to get my license. They could have told me to build a house. I would have done it. Like I was so passionate about getting it done. Nothing was hard. It just took more time. Right. And I think if anyone has that same frame of mind or whatever, they want to be a lawyer. I hear people, oh, I don't want to do all the studying. I don't want to pass the bar. What that tells me is you're not actually wanting to be a lawyer. Because if you want to be a lawyer, you'll do all those things, no problem, because you understand what light is at the end of the tunnel and how much passion it's going to bring for you. Right. So I would say that was the most annoying part, was the time restraint, but I got it done. It was just a part of me leveling up, if you will. And I got it done.
I think discipline is a great, huge part of the education system that you have to go through, right?
Yes, very big. Yeah.
So Nitesh has a question for brokerage now. So he asked, what does the brokerage look for when they're hiring you?
It's a great question. It's actually not the case. You're interviewing the brokerage. There's Remax, Royal LePage, Keller Williams, you name it, Century 21. They're not hiring you. You're giving them the permission to take your real estate license and hang it in their brokerage because they're going to make money off you, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily they're hiring you. You interview to say, what brokerage am I going to choose to align myself with and help me with my career? Because we're all solo practitioners. We don't get a salary. We actually pay money to operate right away. We have dues for our brokerage. We have dues for our real estate boards that we're a part of. We have to pay. I think my assistant just paid one of my bills today. It was $1,200. So we actually pay all these fees and all these dues to even operate our license. So we don't get interviewed. We interview the brokerages.
Okay. Thank you for that, solving that confusion for Nitesh.
No worries.
And next question is from Amreen. She asked, they asked, do you think COVID decreased or increased your sales for houses?
Increase.
Yes.
I had a 40% growth year over year. House prices went up on average 22%, which means if we do the math, I get paid a commission, right? And that's a percentage sale price of the home. I made a 22% increase in my income. And what did I do? I didn't do anything. I'm not building houses, I'm selling them, right? So, but it's almost like your boss comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to give you a 20% raise. You go, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That's what COVID did to me. Plus, it accelerated the number of sales. So I got a pay raise, plus I was selling more houses. So I doubled down and my business went through the roof this year. Every top realtor this year had their best deal, okay? The people who were struggling before, I think they got knocked off. Because it really kind of, if you didn't have an existing business or you weren't really chipping away to build meaningful relationships, how are you supposed to make relationships when you're stuck behind a computer screen? It's very tough. Yes. Very tough. When I started my career, I knocked on 200 doors every single day. 200 doors to meet face to face to try to meet new people. And that every single day, I only sold 26 houses. Every single day, 200 doors, trying to connect with new people who I could potentially sell their homes. I don't even know what I would really do had I had to start my career all over again, because everything's so digital now with online marketing and presence. So I probably would have gone really deep with my friends and family and network and circles and booked as many Zoom meetings and consults with people as I could have. But, before I used to say, let's grab a coffee, let's go do this, let's go do this. It's not the same world right now. But I think for personally, my career definitely accelerated it. I think for new people starting their career, I think there's a unique set of learning curves, but I sincerely believe if you can make it now, you're going to be a better realtor than me, because you're going to have the perseverance and you're going to have a harder path to success than I did. And that just means you have more grit. And in this industry, you just get rewarded based on that. And I think, again, you align yourself with the right people. These challenges are more welcome challenges versus scare challenges. And even I have new agents who are starting on my team. Jake, who I just hired last year, he's going to make $120,000 this year. And this is his first year in the business. Didn't have any friends or family that did real estate. And he's making a very handsome 6 figures his very first year during COVID. It's not bad.
That's great. Thank you.
Sorry,
So
I just want to quickly butt in, but I was actually kind of curious about that, because in COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs, and obviously people were laid off. I was curious, how exactly did the housing market increase? Because I know that I saw this on the news recently, or not recently, but like for a few months now. How housing is not affordable.
It's
So I
not.
just wanted to know, for like low income families or middle class families, like how's it going for them?
Terrible. I'm going to call a spade a spade. It's terrible. I'm being very honest. I think this is what happened when COVID happened. Did people get laid off? Yes. Did people get unemployed? Yes. If you really look at it, and listen, guys, I'm just calling a spade a spade. The people who got unemployed and the people who got laid off were not the people at the top. People at the top, Amazon generated the most amount of money this year ever. They were able to employ a lot of people, right? But what they were building was something big. So tech went big. Zoom wasn't even traded publicly. Zoom went through the roof, right? So pretty much the same amount of money was there. What it did was it shifted around, okay? And a lot of people got told, hey, David, let's say I was a normal employee at a bank. Hey, you're going to be working from home. Hey, you're going to be working from home. You know how many people got that call and lived in a condo in Toronto? And they go, I'm here with my husband, my kids. How am I supposed to stay here doing homeschool and have to work from home? They sold their condo, went to Barrie, went to the outskirts. So what happened, real estate happens when life changes. You get married, you get a job promotion, you're going through a divorce, you have kids. All of those situations require you to live in a different property. Everyone was like, hey, guess what? I'm right now in a home office. Pre-COVID, why the heck did I need a home office? I didn't need one. Everyone needs a place to work from home now. So what happened is our own Canadian residents started selling and moving everywhere. And it increased the amount of demand for people to move. And it was very worrisome because there's already not enough inventory. So inventory is low, demand is high. What's going to happen to prices? Economics, the prices have to go up because it's supply and demand. And what's even scarier is we've had no immigration, none. And if you remember the publications before, they were saying all these people migrating here and coming as immigrants, they're the ones that are bringing up our prices. And I even did the math. I said, at most, and this was generous, at most, new immigrants actually coming right out to Canada, being able to buy, equated for 5% of the market annually. The other 95% was our regular Canadians going up in pay scale or downsizing or first kids getting into the market. And the real problem was there was never enough inventory. It's so hard to build homes in Canada because there's so much red tape. The government has so many restrictions that the statistic is in Texas, you can build a home 7 times faster than in Canada. And it's not because of the weather. It's simply because of the government and how many, oh, you have to get a land surveyor. Oh, we need to go to the environmental department. And it's not as quick as you think. There's so much red tape. Everything is so slow and it costs a lot of money. So what happens is, I think about 3 months ago, we had the lowest inventory since 1996. So we have the lowest amount of homes for sale in 25 years, which means 2 things. Number one, there's literally not enough homes. Builders cannot build fast enough to offset the level of demand. Number 2, we had no immigration coming here. Now we're going to have immigration coming here. We're literally, it's not doing so well. And if you look at New York, or you look at all these other big metropolitan areas, they had very similar issues early on. And if you look at our growth chart, we're actually going faster than they trend. So I have every reason to believe that we're going to be like another New York. And the way that our house prices are going, they're only going one way. And I'm willing to bet everything on that. We're going to have another crazy year next year. It's going to continually compound. So you're right. For middle families who are either not in the market or struggling to get in, it's very difficult. It is very difficult. And we've seen a lot of people relocate to Nova Scotia. We're seeing people go to other parts of Canada. That's still a great place to live, but far more affordable in the housing, because it's very difficult for a lot of people right now. It's very difficult.
Yes, definitely. And do you think this real estate market is gonna stretch outwards apart from GTA
Yes,
as people are moving?
It is. So Nova Scotia was up 25%. Ottawa is up 30%. Other great places to live. I mean, hey, listen, if we went to Nova Scotia right now, and I have real estate holdings in Nova Scotia, it's far more accessible for us. When we look at $1 million price tag over here, you get $1 million of property on oceanfront, okay? But still, their prices are skyrocketing. Our prices are skyrocketing. It's just to us, we're in the millions, the multi-millions. Nova Scotia is not quite there yet, but it's, again, if you look at their accelerated growth pattern, it's through the roof. So yes, it's a ripple effect. It's like the world, Canada, essentially is like a pond, and there's a huge rock that fell, and that rock was Toronto, and the rest of it's dispersing. And that's what we're seeing right now. And even the condo market's back. It was not doing good during COVID. Now it's coming back very strong because people are going, underneath 800,000, the market is, things are selling 65 offers in 2 days. I'm not joking. I'm being very serious. And what's happening is people go, oh, I can't live in this townhouse. I got to go back to condo living. So everyone's running back to the condos, and now it's putting a pressure on condo prices, which are skyrocketing them back up. And any little pressure is going to throw the prices up because there's such a low inventory level, such a low amount. If there was only 10 of these and 10,000 people wanted one, I could almost sell this for whatever I wanted to sell it for. And that's what our real estate market is right now. And it's very true. And everyone thought that there was a market correction. There's nothing to correct. Our market is very strong, very healthy, 100% seller driven. If you're a seller, you hold all the cards, you can sell your house for pretty much whatever you want. And that's just the reality.
Thank you. So we are reaching our time limit, but we will answer the last two questions we'll ask the last two questions to David. So the first question is, you sell over 60 houses a year. What is the one skill that you need, or one or more skills that you need in this career?
I would say, that's a good one. I would definitely say communicating value propositions. It's a very big one. I often find people who struggle are not good at communicating, and they're not able to help others understand why they're valuable and they're needed, right? So I think that's a really big one. I think another one is, in our industry, this is a very crucial one, people mistake movement for achievement. They think, oh, I got a new business card today, and oh, I did this, and I'm thinking, well, how many clients did you meet with? Oh, well, none, but I got my business cards. I didn't have a business card for the first year in my business. I didn't even have a business card because I knew that wasn't going to get me money. I needed to speak face to face with people. So I think the communication is a huge aspect, and understanding value, true value. And the second one is not wasting your time with things that are unproductive. And I think a really good rule, I would actually focus anyone, you take this note down, is the 80-20 principle. You could take the time to search it up. It's a very, very, very predominant principle in the world. And I think that is very, very important to understand. And it's like that for every career, every industry, every hierarchy. The 80-20 principle applies at scale everywhere.
Thank you. I just wrote that down. I'll search it up after this call.
It's going to help you out a lot even with studying. It helps you with studying as well. It helps you with everything.
Yes. So the last question we have is from MH, and they ask, can you explain the difference between realtors, agents, and brokers? This is a back to basic question.
No difference. It's like saying, I'm a guy, I'm a boy, I'm a man. There's not much difference. The only difference, so we have sales representatives, brokers, whatever. There's sales representatives, which are like realtors, real estate agents, real estate sales representatives. And then we have brokers who are just the people who have the highest level of education offered. And essentially what I can now do is I can open up my own office. So if you see a Remax, a Royal LePage, a Keller Williams, or see any real estate office, they're all independently owned and operated, the same way as like a Subway. They're all franchised. You go to two different Subways, two completely different owners, nothing's the same other than they share the same franchise name. So it's the same thing with real estate agent, but to actually operate a brokerage, you have to be a broker. You have to have a high level of understanding of more compliance, right? So sales representative is let's sell houses. The broker related is what's the compliance with our main regulatory bodies, like the Real Estate Council of Ontario, the Ontario Real Estate Association, and how do those come into play to ensure that everything's run ethically and legally, et cetera, so forth and so on. So that's really the biggest difference. But if you hear all the terminology, it's all the same slang. We sell houses, and since I'm a broker, I reserve the right that I can open up my own brokerage or I can go buy a franchise.
Thank you for that information. And do you think they earn different salaries, or they earn different commissions based on their level?
No, not at all. Not at all. Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Although we're not a fixed commission industry, right? So you'll see people say, you know, the commission range is 1% to 2.5%. 2.5% is usually the top echelon. I'll put myself included in that bracket.
Yeah.
But it's not fixed by my brokerage. It's not fixed by me. It's just what I choose to offer for my services. I can offer 10%. I don't think anyone would pay me 10% because of the level of competition I'm facing with, and already 2.5% is kind of at the highest bracket. But you can choose to have a client pay you whatever you like. And as a buying agent, so when I'm helping someone buy a home, they don't pay me a penny. They don't pay me a penny. The sellers pay me usually 2 to 2.5% commission as saying, thank you for bringing me a buyer. So if you're looking to buy your first home, you don't pay a penny to the real estate agent. The real estate agent gets paid by the seller. So that's a really good thing too for a lot of buyers, because they're looking at all the costs and how do I get in the market. All you really need to do is have your down payment, your land transfer tax, and maybe about $1,000 for your legal fees, and you're good to buy a property, and you don't have to pay me.
Thank you, David. So this does end our Q&A session.
Sure.
Thank you for having me today, and I will give the hosting to Ankita now. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Asta. I was very intrigued by one thing, so I just want to ask one more question before we end up.
I'm happy to answer any questions that are still even remaining. Like, I personally think this is so cool that you girls are doing this. Like I said, I get asked to speak on a lot of panels, and I often don't like to do it, but to help youth, I'm a young guy too. I had a lot of help and handout. I'm happy to answer any other questions. So yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. So you mentioned that the best way to get yourself accelerated into the industry is by starting the business or starting your own business. And obviously, when you start your own business, you expect to see, or like, obviously you need to have that mindset that you won't make profits immediately. Correct. So was there any kind of setback for you that, made you feel like, is this actually going to work out for me? But obviously you are here where you are today, but has there been any kind of setback like that?
Yeah, I would say like anything in life, there's consistent struggles with questioning like yourself. Can I do this? Am I enough? And do I really know what I'm doing? Again, I had my first kid. I was 18 years old. I was not doing good in school. I was kind of counted out. So I had a bit of a chip on my shoulder, right? My guidance counselors told me I'd be lucky if I was a construction worker or, something like that, right? So I wouldn't say, I really didn't doubt myself. I knew I was going to make it work, primarily because it's not rocket science. Like, the way my head works is if someone else is doing it, we were the same at birth. All we did is chose what we're willing to learn and what we're going to use with that. So I know that there was other successful real estate agents when I was getting into business, and all I had to say is what makes them better than me. They're both human. They wake up in the morning, they eat food. I knew I could get it done. And in my first year in the business, what I did is pretty simple. What do I need to live? right? Whether it's 25,000, 30,000, whatever. And I paid myself like a salary. And every other bit of money that I made, which was a lot, I said, that's going to be for me to hire people. I understand leverage, right? If you go to the dentist's office, your dentist is not also booking the appointments. Your dentist is not cleaning the floors. Your dentist sits there. He has his hygienist assistants. He has his receptionist, and that's a full running business. Everybody has their role, and they have to excel well in their role to make a seamless experience. So I realized right away, I need leverage. I need people working for me and with me. So that, again, like I said, when I moved last month, we sold a bunch of houses. I didn't sell any, but I got paid on every single one of those deals. That's a business. When I can sit at home and look at my account and go, oh, just made a bunch of money. That's great. So that was my goal, was to get here today. I said, I know I can get here. And what I need to do to get there is pay myself a salary, which I still do to this day. I pay myself a salary. I'll be super transparent. I now pay myself a salary of $100,000 a year. That's it. Our business earnings are more than 10 times that. But I don't care, because I'm trying to have a self-sustaining business so I can bring on more people, just like scale. If I can 10x my business in 1 month and it's $1 million business, let's make it a $10 million business and let's 10x that. So now I have a $100 million business. Now I'm actually at a place where not a lot of other real estate agents get, and I have scale, and I can actually exit the business. Someone could buy my business and pay me a royalty, so forth and so on, right? So I would say in the beginning, you just have to believe in anything you're doing. You have to really believe in what you're doing, what you're set out to do, and it makes the hard things easy. Like I said, to this day, and I hand to God, I take an ice shower every single morning to remind myself, you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's very important for me. I remind myself that it's okay to be uncomfortable, because that's where you grow. And if you go to the gym, which I work out every single morning, you don't lift the same weights. You put your muscle under tension and it actually rips. And when it rips, it heals, and that's what allows muscle growth, the terminology getting ripped, right? It's the same way in business, same way in life, same way in relationships. It has to be tested. It has to be put under pressure. And that's where the real growth happens. So I just had really great mentors who helped me understand these things. And I've been living them for about 5 years now. And I've had nothing but full faith and confidence in myself. And I've taken myself here, my family here, my whole team. And again, it doesn't have to be real estate. I think if I had the same mindset and I was passionate about being a nurse, I would be the best nurse, open my own practice, like whatever I wanted to do. It's just the headspace behind it, right? So I think that's really the key fundamental to focus on, especially when you're going to be starting a business.
Thank you. I guess from this whole event that we attended today, the main thing was keeping that mindset to continue and keep going. And I know that's something we hear a lot, but it's the real thing comes when we have to implement it. So I like the fact that you mentioned that, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. I feel like that really hit. So I urge that everyone who's here today definitely take some key advice that David had told us. It could be from any question or any specific thing that he said. For me, it was the line that you just said about being uncomfortable. So these are the things that could help you change up your whole lifestyle. So I definitely urge everyone to take something out of today's event. I'm very grateful for how it turned out. I know that this Career Expo was meant to give advice to youth and help youth understand, what they want to do now with their life. And this event went very, very well. So I'm very glad. If you guys have any remaining questions, you can obviously contact us through email or our social media platforms. The link was put in the chat, but it can be put again. Obviously, we could get you into contact with David if that needs to happen. And we put his contact in our post on our promotional post on Instagram. So you could check out his stuff. I definitely did. By the way, I love those videos of the homes. That looks really cool and very appealing.
Yeah, marketing is very important in our industry.
Yes, definitely. So yeah, you guys can definitely check that out. Before you guys leave, I would just stay back for 2 more minutes. I want to talk about the giveaway that we're having at the moment. We've partnered up with a small business in the GTA area named Creative Outlet, and there will be 2 winners. You guys will be receiving stickers, customized stickers, a logo sticker from our side, plus a customized sticker with just a meaningful message. I'll just pull up the screen with that. So these are the stickers you guys will be receiving. There will be 2 winners. If this is the first event that you have attended, then your entries will be accounted for. If you have already attended an event in the past, then your entries have been accounted for already. If you guys would like to have additional entries, please follow us on our social media platforms and you can find out the additional rules and get those entries in. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to let us know. We're going to take a quick screenshot just for promotional purposes and to show our audience about our event today. So if you would like to turn on your cameras, I would really encourage that. Feel free to do so. I'm just going to quickly stop sharing my screen and then I will be taking the screenshot. I know some people left because we did go over the time limit, but that's all right. If you want to turn on your camera, please feel free to do so. I will be taking the screenshot in about 10 seconds.
I'm going to smile really big.
All right.
No one else's camera's on, so I'll just smile big.
All right. The 4 people who have their cameras on will smile for the rest of us here. All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, David, for coming out today. Once everyone leaves, we'll just have a little talk with you just for just a minute. I think the audience feedback form was just put in the chat. So if everyone could just fill that out, it would take you just about 30 seconds. We just want to know how to improve on our next events. And, you know, it's a great way for us to improve, for you to give back, give your feedback. And we would really appreciate if you fill that out. Our next event will be happening on Monday. The Member of Parliament, the MP for Mississauga Erin Mills, will be joining us. So that is a great opportunity to network with a government official. If you guys have any questions or concerns, you can obviously bring that up on Monday's event. Again, we are so thankful that everyone joined today. If you would like the entries in our giveaway, please check our social media platforms. We hope to see you in the rest of our events. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining today, everyone.
We'll see you in the next event on Monday. Bye, everyone.